Until about a few weeks ago, the Jackson County Historical Society thought all the history at the 1859 Jail Museum was above ground, until a project to shore up one corner of the building found history just a few feet down.
The City of Independence is celebrating the 4th of July on the 5th, but you can't have a celebration without a little bit of face paint.
For more than 25 years, Jansen Stables has been a staple here in DeSoto and all across the metro for their horse training, horse boarding, and more. But with the Panasonic plant coming here to this city, their future is up in the air. In DeSoto, I'm Malik Jackson, Fox 4, working for you.
We're here at the Switzerland booth, which is one of the 52 cultures being celebrated at this year's festival. Here, you'll find food like bratwurst and raclette. And if your stomach can handle it, you can eat your way all around this festival. Admission is $5, but if you're 12 or younger, you get in for free. Things just wrapped up here, but they'll pick back up tomorrow from noon until 10. In Kansas City, Missouri, I'm Shannon Russo, Fox 4, working for you.
A lot of how you will do in a race is because of your attitude.
Which means Brenna's attitude must be pretty good.
She has done an amazing job. She's top 18 cars in the country right now.
Mom Dawn is never far away while Brenna's been racing and winning enough to earn a trip to the International Soapbox Derby Championship next week. Dawn helps with the car and as the interpreter between daughter and dad.
On one hand, it's trying to talk to my husband to work through how to talk to a girl of that age. And on the other hand, it's talking to my daughter to say, this is what your dad is frustrated about right now, or this is what he's saying you're doing really good.
Brenna's dad, John Kilby, would know. In 1988, he also earned a trip to the International Championships in Akron, where he placed 7th.
Back then, you built the cars basically from scratch.
For him, soapbox derby racing helped him bond with his dad and 2 younger brothers, mostly beating them down the hill, but always building memories.
Just growing up doing that, we traveled a lot, and you got to spend a lot of one-on-one time.
3.5 decades later, Dad has moved from racer to mechanic and coach.
When I was younger, I never really wanted to listen to anything that he had to say.
Hardly unique for an almost teenager, but soapbox derby racing gives them a way to connect anyway.
We walk down the track and we see where I'm supposed to drive that day.
They talk about what parts of the track are rough, what parts will give Brenna a faster time, and how to steer a fiberglass tube going roughly 30 miles an hour with fractions of seconds making the difference between winning and going home.
And it kind of freaks you out sometimes, so you're like, that for the rest of the track.
But through the stress are also the countless small moments they might not have had otherwise.
For us to have that time together as a family is really awesome for us.
And lets John know what it might have been like to have been in his own dad's position all those years ago.
I probably owe him a few apologies.
He's a model.
Meet Littlefoot. He's a spunky king penguin at the Kansas City Zoo and pretty hard to miss. He wasn't always this big, though. When he hatched, he lost a lot of blood and weighed less than half a pound. His chances of survival were slim.
From then on, he just grew and grew and grew like a normal king penguin. It was a miracle. It's just one of those, it is a miracle penguin, because it was really, really rough going at the start.
Because of his perseverance and will to survive, it was a no-brainer for staff to nominate him for the March of the Penguin Madness, a global competition meant for raising education and awareness for the species.
Part of his personality was because we hand-raised him for a long time too, so he's very comfortable around people. He's usually the first one out the door when we do the penguin marches on the weekends and stuff.
Out of the hundreds of nominees from around the world, Littlefoot placed 2nd out of the 47 selected to compete.
Hey, what is that?
Just another big feat for the penguin, his keepers say, is inspiring communities across the world to learn more about penguins like himself and how to protect them.
Our hope is that people did make that connection because Littlefoot is such a special penguin, and now they want to make sure that generations and generations after Littlefoot are out there and in the wild for all of those kids and for the world to know how special penguins are.
In Kansas City, Kelly Peltier, Fox 4, working for you.
One step,
Two-step. Do we do it again?
The Dewan family says they turned to parents as teachers when they had their second kid, Jack.
It was the perfect way to figure out if he was tracking against milestones, transitioning from one kid to 2 kids. Jack was born with some health issues, so we were going through a lot.
It's a free program for parents of babies to 3 years old. It includes at-home visits, working on different skill sets, group playtime, and giving parents someone to go to with any questions they have.
It was really invaluable to have Kristen weigh in on different strategies for potty training.
Yeah, that was super huge.
So that was huge.
He's talking about Kristen Younger, a parent educator who got involved after being in the program herself. Working with kids, many of whom were either born during or after the pandemic, she stresses the importance of quality time.
10 to 15 minutes a day, uninterrupted, no screen time, and just follow your child's lead. Lets them feel safe, lets them feel loved, lets them feel seen.
That's just one example of how these educators support parents. Their mission extends beyond that, creating a safe and secure environment for kids, which is why they partnered up with Raising KC, a public health campaign that focuses on how adults can prevent toxic stress for kids.
It was just such a natural partnership for us to join with them because that's the heart of what we do as well. We just really believe that parents are their child's first and most important teacher.
The Dewans agree. That's why they want other families to know about the program and how it's helped them understand their best will always be good enough.
Their parents, they get it. They remember how hard it was.